What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with part 2 of the Real Housewives of Orange County reunion. If you guys watched it, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments section or in the live chat, you guys. Sorry that I am late. We are at the 1 minute mark, so I can say what I want to say. So yeah, I'm sorry that I'm late, you guys, because I'm a little late to the live because I had to read a bitch because this lady tried me this week, and I had to read her, put her in her place, and let her know what it was. So that's why I'm late. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for jumping in. Give me a second. I'll get to the comments in just a second. I got to put my glasses on, and they were dirty. I didn't realize that my glasses were dirty because I ain't had these things on all day. Well, not these glasses. All right, and they're still dirty, but it is what it is. I can kind of see. Hey, Penelope, how are you doing on this wonderful Friday? It's a good Friday for me. Hopefully, it's a good Friday for you as well. But yeah, you guys, let's talk about part 2 of the reunion. Also, let's get to this comment real quick. I'm just here to support. I absolutely appreciate the love and the support. It means a whole lot to me. It really does. It really means a whole lot to me. So yeah, you guys, let's talk about the reunion. Let me get to my notes real quick, and then we'll definitely jump on into this review. So, part 2 of the reunion, it was good, but it got good. It got really good towards the end of the reunion, and I think part 3 is gonna be what we wanted. Well, let me speak for me and me only. I know it's gonna be what the hell I wanted, right? Now, we're still talking about Ryan and Jen, and I'm still kind of I'm still confused, right? Because I still don't understand Emily's issue with Jen. It really gives a little bit of hater vibes. It gives jealousy, right? And I don't. And here's the thing: what I will say, I for Emily, there's no reason to be jealous of her, but it's just so weird to me. It's really weird to me. Now, Heather did chime in, and Heather's whole thing is that when it comes to all of them, they just don't want for Katie to get into a position, get into a spot that she doesn't want to, that basically get into a spot where she can't get herself out of it, right? And I get that, and I mean, I get it, but like the thing is, she seems happy, she seems content with whatever Ryan is telling her. I think the real thing is as long as her name, but then if they get married, his debt and everything becomes yours. So yikes, girl. That's my only problem. Okay, moving on. So Andy brought up Tamra and the fact that Ryan, served her a cease and desist, right? And so Tamra's whole thing is she was doing press that whole day, and she did one interview, and then she went to Watch What Happens Live. And when she did Watch What Happens Live, she completely butchered what she was saying. And that's why you gotta that's why you don't here's the thing. That's why you don't speak on everything that you don't know the particulars about, because you can say something and be like, oops, that ain't what I meant to say, or oops, that came out wrong. But your words have consequences, have actions, have ramifications. You can like people always want to talk about, oh, free speech this and free speech that. Yes, in America we all have freedom of speech, right? That is something that we have per the Constitution of the United States of America. But free speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. And Tamara's learning that lesson the hard way, right? So Tamara says that she went and she apologized and she retracted her statement. That's all fine and dandy, Tamara, but you still uttered the words on national television. So you can do all this apology, this, and that. It doesn't change the fact that you said what you said. and then she's apologizing about the fact that she said the feds raided his home. Like, that's your problem, Tammy. You try to stick it to everybody, and that's what they're talking about. More specifically, Jen, is the fact that yeah, we get into it with each other, but you go too far, Tamara, and she does. What's up, D? So D says someone needs to supply Emily with a storyline and a muzzle ASAP. My friend was asking, is the host Andy or Emily? Old blabbermouth bitch. You know what I will say? Emily got on my nerves quite a bit in this part two of the reunion because, and it's more so when she saw. Here's the thing: we ain't gonna take away from Emily, even though she's not practicing law currently. We're not gonna take away that she's an attorney, right? So she knows the law, and I'm not gonna take that away from her. But it was like, can you shut up? Can you let Andy talk? Like that was what was getting on my nerves, right? So then we move on and we discuss Katie's party where, remember Tamara left out of that party drunk and, telling Katie to something tell Ryan and Jen, whatever, right? I forgot what she said. So Tamara's whole thing is the reason that she came for Ryan at the party was because of the podcast. And I guess he may have went on social media and talked about her marriage, the fact that Eddie is gay and all this kind of stuff, right? And she was like, well, if he has an issue with me, leave it with me. And I was like, Tamara, that's a little bit hypocritical, don't you think? Because all last season, you and Eddie were talking about the man. And here's my thing. I forgot what the word, I think it was like Ryan wanted to sleep with Tamara last season, right? If somebody comes to me and tell me some shit like that about my wife, it's almost like I'm popping you in the mouth right then and there. And Jen, that's what Jen said. Like, but you talked about him, and he was just combating your mouth. And she's like, well, if he's just combating my mouth, then come at me. Don't talk about my husband. Now, if he came at you with the same venom and vitriol that you have for him, Eddie would then have to get involved. So shut up, Tim. Like Tamara gets on my nerves. I get where she's. I'll give her like a half of a point. Like, yes, if you feel away, come for me. But as heated as you like, we know Tamara go from 1 to 100. It wasn't gonna be a calm conversation with him. You were gonna do exactly what you did in that scene, scream at him, cuss at him, and all that kind of stuff, call him a bitch and all that kind of stuff. So shut up, Tamara. That's all I gotta say, right? So Jen asked Tamara, so that night, where did Eddie sleep at? I was like, oh, wait. You gonna give us some tea? Because I was thinking she was going somewhere else. And she was like, he slept in bed with me. And she was like, well, that's not what I heard. And so Gina chimes in, and Gina was like, yeah, the next day I came over to your home. And so I guess what happened is he didn't sleep in the bed with her that night. He slept in the casita. Okay. I thought they were going somewhere else completely with that story, with that question. So then Andy asked Tamara about I don't know, he didn't ask Tamara, he asked Jen. So he was talking to Jen. He was like, so Jen, question. When it comes down to the whole Tamara thing, when Tamara wanted to show you the fact that Shannon was more involved in the whole text message thing, why do you want to see the proof? And Jen was like, at that particular time, I didn't care. I didn't care. And I get it, right? Because with Tamara is supposed to be your real friend. Shannon isn't like your close friend. It's Tamara. So I got where she was coming from in that particular moment. So she said that, she believed Shannon's apology and she said Shannon owned it. And Emily was like, well, the only reason why Shannon really owned that is because I was screaming at her outside. And Shannon was like, yeah, you did scream at me, but I would have apologized one way, I would have apologized no matter what. And I was like, okay. I do believe I actually do believe Shannon would have apologized. So after that, Andy brought up the finale, right? You guys remember in the finale, she said, I was right about Brooks and I'm right about Ryan. And she put that FBI hat on, right? And let me be real about the situation. She was 100% right about Brooks. But even back then with Brooks, I even watching back in that, because I've been watching OC for with OC, I've been off and on for years, but I know the drama, right? But the I remember the Brooks stuff. I definitely remember the Brooks stuff. And I remember how, because I remember, how Brianna felt about Brooks, right? The same way Brianna felt about Brooks is what I felt about Brooks, because I couldn't stand Brooks. Especially, I couldn't stand Brooks even more when it came out that he was lying about that whole cancer thing. I was like, oh my God, you are a sick, demented person to make up a lie like that, right? So yeah, Tamara was absolutely right about Brooks, but I think everybody had Brooks's penny, nickel, and dime at that particular time. So you weren't the only person who felt that way. It was a lot of other people, right? It was a lot of other people that felt that way about Brooks. But Tamara was like, oh, well, it was just, Tamara says it was just a joke. I was like, no, it was not a joke. I can't stand Tamara. She gets on my nerves. D says Tamara can GTFOH. Yeah, she can definitely get the F out of here, right? Because she had no problem going after and getting crunk with several of the husband's partners, including Jim and Slade. She even called Slade's ex to dig into his child support issues. Absolutely. That's why I kind of want them to bring Gretchen. So here's the thing. I loved Gretchen. I loved Gretchen, but if Gretchen comes back, because I do know that Gretchen is cool with Katie and Jen, and I would love. I've been for a long time. I've been wanting Gretchen back on this show. Only thing about Gretchen, if Gretchen comes back, that means we got to see Slade Smiley again, and I don't like Slade. It's something about Slade that I just never saw it for. Never saw it for Slade. Don't ever want to see it for Slade, right? But I definitely do want to see Gretchen back on television. I want Gretchen over that dimwit Alexis. Oh, we got to talk about HUD. I cannot. Let's stay on track, right? So Jen says to Tamra that the girls would rather be by your side than against you. I believe that. I do believe that because here's the thing. You guys know I'm not the biggest Heather fan, and I'm not saying that I dislike Heather. I'm just not a big fan of Heather's. But I have kind of had a little proverbial side eye for Heather this season, especially her friendship with Tamra. It it just it's kind of weird to me, and I'll tell you guys what, like, we'll get to it in a minute because it's going to come up. But what was really the weirdest thing for me, which she cleared it up, but I still think it was like, you don't know this woman's financial situation. So I don't like when people try to speak on other people's financial situations when you don't know. You just know one side of you know what you see in the blogs, you know what you see here. But it was a dress situation with Jen. Like I said, we'll come right back to it. So Heather says that they don't feel that way. And she said that she told Jen last year that they are friends. And I was like, well, what does that mean? So Jen said, Heather, after the reunion last year, me and you sat down and I asked you, are you really friends with that woman? And you said, we're historical friends. And I was like, historical friends? What the hell is that? But then I kind of started thinking about it. I was like, historical friends, y'all are friends. I guess what she's saying is we're friends because of the show. I'm assuming that's what historical friends meant. But then, Heather did say, she did say something to that. I don't know if you were saying she said something to that effect or she actually said those words, because then she came right back behind that and then said that she doesn't talk like that, and don't flip things because she doesn't talk like that. And I was like, well, which one is it, Heather? Because I was confused, because I was like, you kind of, it seemed like you were agreeing with what she was saying, but then it also seems as if, well, it seems like you were agreeing with what she said, that you did say, because you did say she is a historical friend. So I was like, which one is it? Is she a historical friend? Did you say it, or is she not? Like, I was confused. I was kind of confused. D says, Smiley Slade is a no go for me as well. I still haven't forgotten how he used to clown and gaslight Joe and even hooked up with Lori after he and Joe broke up. Mess. I don't know how Gretchen did. I don't either. Ugh. That's why I say, that's why I keep comparing, what is his name? John Jansen to Slade, because they done been with women in this group. Again, we're gonna talk about John Jansen and Alexis when we get down to that part of the episode. So the next thing that we move on to, it was a rather quick scene. They showed the package of London, but then they spent like 5 seconds on London. They talked about Katie giving Shannon an enema. They talked about Travis's balls and if he likes the conversation on the show, which Gina didn't really answer that, which I don't really care. And then they talked about Emily rinsing her mouth out with soda. It doesn't do a job of brushing your teeth. And then they moved on from that. I was like, wow, was this like a filler scene? Like, now here's the thing with the reunion. I do know that they filmed this on a Sunday. It was actually what show? They filmed it on a Sunday. It's been a few weeks. So I think Potomac had already started when they filmed the reunion of this show. And I was just like, did y'all not have anything else to talk about? They must didn't, because when I tell you they were on that and off of that situation rather quickly, then we moved on to talk about Jen again, right? So now we're talking about Jen and her financial situation, right? So again, like I said earlier in the review, I'm still trying to understand what Emily's real true issue was with Jen, because it makes no sense to me, right? So Jen says that Andy asks her, like, so what are you doing now with your finances? Like, how are you keeping track of your finances? She says, well, today I know what my car note is. I know when my car note is due and I pay my car note. And so Emily was like, but you're driving Ryan's car, right? She was like, yes. So she's like, so does Ryan's car have a car note on it? She said, yes. And she said, and I paid the car note. I was like, Emily, again, what they got to do with you? She literally just says she knows when her car note is due. She pays her car note. What more do you want from the woman? I was confused. So we found out that Gina and Jen, they gotten a lot closer with each other. They went back to, remember earlier in the season when they had that big blow up, they went back to that same place and they're in a good space, right? So we then brought up the whole dress that she bought for $2,000, right? And this is why I say, again, I get where Heather's coming from. I honestly do. Because Heather said that she gave her some financial advice, and I get it. I give you some financial advice, but then you go to one of these high end stores and you buy a $2,000 dress for an event to go to, right? Be practical when it comes, because you have 5 children. I got that part. What I didn't get was her going and telling Tamra. I think that's where the problem comes in for me with Heather. Going to tell Tamra, Tamra is gonna gloat and seethe at the mouth with this information. So Jen says that it was actually Ryan who bought the dress for her. I'm like, if y'all didn't think about this, y'all know she lives with Ryan. She's driving Ryan's car. Why come 2 plus 2 didn't equal 4 for y'all, that maybe Ryan is the one who bought the dress for her? D, I've been trying to forget that she was ever on this show, because she was one of the most boring housewives that I've ever seen. You know what? I'll give her a little bit of grace, because Elizabeth Vargas came on during the COVID seasons of OC, and I don't think she got a fair shake. I don't think Elizabeth got a fair shake. I mean, if they gave Bronwyn as many seasons as they gave Bronwyn, they could have gave Elizabeth one more season to let her, flesh out her storyline. But Dee says, don't forget Elizabeth Vargas uh, getting it popping with Jim Bellino. Now, I did see that recently, and I was like, for the love of God, please, Alexis, I'm not Alexis, but Elizabeth, we are tired of this. We're already over with Alexis. We don't want it with you. But the Real Housewives love a pass around partner. They do. I forgot about Harry Dubin deep sea diving in 70% of the women on OG Roman. And Harry Dubin is not that good looking of a man. Harry must got a, you know what? Harry must got, he must be well endowed. That is the one thing I would say about Harry Dubin because he must be well endowed for all those women in New York to go. Actually, it's the same for quite a few of these men that the housewives be swapping around because they don't really be lookers. They don't be lookers, and I'm like, God, it must be he got a big schwanger, or he got a, or that he must have got a lot of things that are big, that bank account, and what's between his legs. Because my God, today, and then Jim Bellino. Again, we're gonna talk about because we're gonna talk about his ex-wife once we get to her, right? So Katie feels that the whole thing was mean girlish, right? And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, is it a mean girl thing? Or is because Heather and everybody else is saying it's gossipy, right? And I'm trying to think, is it mean girl or is it gossipy? And you guys can tell me too what you guys think. Do you think it's mean girl or gossipy? Honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, if I'm being honest about it, do I think it was a mean girl thing to do? Not really. Honestly, no. I do agree with Heather that it was gossipy. It's like, oh, you know, I went to the store, I saw the dress, I saw. Now, I will say, why are you concerned about? Again, I'm gonna ask the question: why are you so concerned about the price tag? That's the question that I have. You know what? Something I'm looking at real quick while I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking at Gina. Gina, you ain't matching because your dress is gold and your pumps are a nudish color, like a orange. It's either orange or nude. I know your nails are the same color as your heels, and that's only because I saw your nails in this episode. But you ain't really matching. I just That just caught my eye. I am so sorry to go off on the tangent, but that just caught my eye that Gina ain't really matching like that. Everybody else's colors, their dresses match their shoes. Tamara's match her shoes. Emily's match her shoes. Heather's match her shoes. Shannon matches her shoes. I can't tell about Jen, but I can tell about Katie. But Gina, your heels don't match your dress. I am so sorry, you guys. I just had to. I just noticed that. I just noticed that. So So we're talking about Jen. So shout out to Leah from Leology. So I was watching one of her previous videos of this season of OC, and she mentioned this article. She mentioned her article about what's going on currently with Jen because they asked Jen about her ex-husband. Is he paying her anything? So she says that he is paying her stuff here and there, but he's not consistent with it, right? And she also says that they have a court date coming up. And again, shout out to Leah because Leah read it. And what it is their son, I believe Dawson, lives with his father. So he's trying to get those payments reduced because the son lives with her. And I'm like, but you still got four other kids, sir. Just because one lives with you, don't forget about your other four kids that are still with their mother. And so here's the thing: what I will say about Emily. Yes, Emily butted in quite a few times, and yes, I wanted Emily to shut up quite a few times as well. But Emily's whole thing is he's an attorney, right? Well, not. I'm not saying right. She didn't say this. She's saying he's an attorney, and that he's not paying. With him not paying his bills, his because this is, I mean, it's a legally binding document, and he's not abiding to it. And with him being an attorney, They get reprimanded if they don't do that. Like they can get disbarred and they can have their wages garnished. But Jen doesn't want to go that route. I was like, Jen, again, I know that you got 5 kids with this man. I know you want to keep the peace for the sake of your children. But girl, he wasn't helping pay the rent. You had to move in with Ryan. When the safety and well-being of your kids is in jeopardy, you got to take them gloves off. You really got to take those gloves off. Take the gloves. It's okay to take them gloves off and whack him across the face with it. Go to the courts. Tell the courts he's not abiding to this. Make the courts garner his wages. Now, oh, you know what? Never mind. I just thought about that. If they disbar this man, he ain't gonna have no income. You are in a tough pickle, ain't you? You are in a little bit of a tough pickle. Then she says she went over to his house, but he doesn't want to have any communication with her because he feels that she defames him on this show. And I was like, from what I've saw, Jen is not, and from what I saw these 2 seasons of Jen has been very respectful of you. She's not said anything negative about you. Jen is a better person than I could ever be. But see, this is again why I always say it's fine for men and women, mostly for women, though. It's fine for women to date a man, for what he can do for them financially. But also, like I always say, and I'm going to continue to say it, make sure that you have your own. A man ain't got no problem with dropping a woman for the next model, right? He ain't got no problem drop once y'all both start to get up there in age. He ain't got no problem looking over at you and be like, "Oh, you the old beat up a hoopty that I don't want no more. Let me go get this Mercedes-Benz truck that's right across the street." So that's all why I would say make sure that you have your own, ladies. It's okay to let these men spoil you, treat you like a princess, all that kind of stuff. Let them do it, but also stash $1,000 right here. Put another 1,000 over here. Put 2,000 right here. Put a little bit away just in case this fool wake up one morning and he want to catch ghosts to you. That's all I'll say. And is there anything else that we want to talk about with Jen? No, that was it. And then we talked about Gina and Travis. I still believe Gina's storyline was fake this season. Because the thing with Gina is saying that her kid, she's trying to protect their kids, right? And she didn't speak on the situation because of the kids. And I was like, okay, so I get it. So is it not true? Like, I don't know what's true with Gina. Again, like I said, I don't believe Gina's storyline was 100% real. I think there were some things that she embellished, right? And for good reason, I guess, trying to protect, their family unit and not disparage his Travis's ex-wife. I'm cool with that. But be real about it. Be like, never mind. Yeah, Gene, I think it's might be. Here's the thing. I don't want to take away from nobody's pockets. But I think at this time, although this was a really good season of OC, and these girls work really well together, what's going to have to happen going into season 19, I feel, with production is I think production needs to really sit down with Emily, Tamra, and Gina, and they have to come up with a storyline. With Heather, my only thing with Heather is I really think Heather's time is come with this show. I really believe that Heather should go to Beverly Hills. That's my personal opinions, but you guys can tell me what you think. D says Bronwyn has definitely been setting up her stash on SLC. If the midseason trailer, I still have not watched that. I need to go watch it after I get off of here. If the midseason trailer is any indication, she's definitely setting up an exit plan when it comes to Todd. Oof. I need to go watch that mid-season trailer for Salt Lake City. I still have not watched it. I forgot all about it after I got off the live yesterday. So after that, they went to lunch, right? Alexis, you're delusional. When Tamara came to your trailer and she was telling you basically don't be John's guard dog, and I'm not gonna bring up John if they don't bring him up. I was like, girl, what planet are you living on? What planet are you living on? That was all you talked about this season. You ain't got no other choice but to talk about John. You weren't even a main housewife. You were a friend of, and everything about you consisted of John Jansen. Alexis, sit down and shut up. So we come back from lunch, right? And I don't want to talk about the fashion show with Heather and Emily. What I'm going to say is, Emily, you made a joke about them. Was it when y'all were in London or where? Whatever drink that they brought you a little drink, and you said you were a big girl and you need a big girl drink. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. And go seek therapy, right? Heather, they talked about the dress being tight on her comment. Heather said that she was taking a little bit of a dig, right? I don't care. 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 That is it. Next up, you guys, we move over to Katie. Who? Katie. Mm. Mm. Katie. Girl, I ain't really got no words for you. I do like you, Katie. I really do. I think you're a great addition to the show. But girl, you and your daughter might be a problem. Especially your daughter. Here's the thing I will say when it comes to the whole situation about the kids who said what, right? I do believe Katie's daughter may have said something to Emily's kids, right? But if I'm being honest if I'm being honest about what I think, I do believe that Emily. Here's the thing: I don't believe Emily said anything in front of her kids, right? And like I said plenty of times before, let's not pretend like kids don't eavesdrop on adult conversations. Let's not pretend that kids don't do it. Let's not pretend we ain't never done it. Let's not pretend we've never done it, because I can raise my hand wholeheartedly and tell you my mama never had adult conversations in front of me. She did not. But I was a nosy ass little boy, and I would I would be like, oh, I wonder what she's talking about. And I will, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I didn't repeat some things that she said. So let's not pretend like it doesn't. Let's not pretend it does not happen, because it does. Again, I definitely do believe Katie's daughter was the one that started that. I do believe that, and maybe her kids may have chimed in, like, "Oh yeah, we heard, we heard this and that, whatever." Right now, Andy asked the ladies, "Do they say? Let's ask them. Do they say anything in front of their kids?" They all said, "Oh no." I was like, "I think y'all are probably lying. I think y'all are lying." But hey, it is what it is. Now, Katie, the fact that your daughter went on TikTok and called them some dick sucking bitches, I was like, damn. And Heather repeated it. I was like, damn. Damn. Now, here's what I will say, right? I feel the same way about Katie's daughter that I feel about all the other housewife kids. Gia and Brielle, Kim's daughter, I feel the same way about all of them. If they can dish it, they're over the age of 18. If they can say something about any of these women on this show that their mothers interact with, the girls, if they can say anything about them, those women have fair game to saying something about them. That's how I feel about Gia. When Gia talks about the women on New Jersey, when she talks about Margaret and her aunt Melissa, they can say something about her, but people then be like, oh, she's a child. She's Teresa's child. We can't talk about the kids. No. If Gia can fix her mouth and say something about Margaret and Melissa, they can fix their mouth and say something about her. If Katie's daughter can fix her mouth and say something about any of these women sucking dick, they can say something about Katie's daughter. Same with Kim's daughter. When Kim's daughter was talking about Nene and Kenya, when they clapped back at her, I was okay with it. I don't have a problem with it. I really truly don't. That's how y'all gotta do her. If that girl feels like she's grown up to say something about y'all, y'all be grown enough women to say something back about her. But Katie said that she did tell her daughter to, take it down. And I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Katie, girl, you and your daughter might just be the problem. But again, I still like you. I still like you, Katie. I really do. But yeah, you and your daughter may definitely be the problem. So after that, you guys, Alexis joins the show. I'm really gonna try to breeze through Alexis because I don't want to spend too much time on this dimwit dingbat. This dingbat likes Jesus jokes. I'm like, you are a moron. Tamara did not mean that in a positive way, but flipped it. Here's the thing: if you flipped it and made money from it, that would be one thing. But your dumbass ain't made no Jesus Jugs shirts, no Jesus Jugs mugs, no Jesus Jugs nothing. You just let people call you Jesus Jugs. You are a moron, dumb. So Andy asked her, when are she and John getting married? She said, within the next 12 months. Good luck to you. Hopefully you sign a prenup, because if you don't, that man gonna take you for everything you got. Emily was over her as soon as she started talking, because Shannon even caught it like I did. Shannon whispered to Gina, she said, look at Emily's face. She said, I see, baby. Emily's face was squanched all the way up, right? So Andy brought up her religion. She says that she's spiritual, and she says that it's God first, then it's your spouse, and then it's your kids. I was like, huh? I'm okay with God first, but you put your kids below your spouse? Girl, no more people, them you birthed them out of your hoo-ha. Girl, some white women do that. Some white women do that. They do put their husbands before their kids, and I just find it quite odd. I really do. Well, not even some white women, just some women in period, put their kids second to a man. Look at Brittany on Salt Lake City. Her kids come second to any man, and that's weird to me. But that's also part. What? Shut up, JB. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. So we found out that Tamara and Alexis made up at BravoCon. How fitting. Then she says that Tamara says that she apologized to Jim. I was like, again, how fitting. But okay, Tamara, go off. So Andy asked her, how did it feel being back after 10 years? And she was like, this is, she said something about, I forgot what the words were, but I caught what she said. Gina caught what she said. Gina whispered to Shannon, so this is a career for her. I was like, it sounds that way. It sounds like this is a career for her. So Andy asked the question of Shannon, where is this lawsuit currently with John? So she said they did lower it to $70,000. Baby, that man wouldn't get a penny out of me. But he won't sign the non-disparaging, of course. So they brought up the fact that Alexis was on camera this season talking about the video. Alexis said that she didn't mean to bring it up and it was a weak moment. I was like, but you mentioned it more than once. So how was it a weak moment when you said it more than once on this show? Are you stupid? Like Shannon asked you later in the reunion, are you delusional? Shannon, yes, she is very much so delusional. So she told Shannon, she said Shannon brought it up, right? And she told Shannon, go check her emails. So she has an interesting relationship with the truth. And everybody was like, that is exactly what John said. And they played the clip from, I think it was the finale when they did their joint interview together. And he said those exact words, right? So Shannon told her, stop being John's mouthpiece. And she asked her, like, how many times did you practice? There's the door, Shannon Bador. And they showed it. She practiced it on the way there with Emily. Girl, you really practiced that? I'd get that it's a play on her last name, Bador. But ma'am, it fell flat. Womp, womp, womp. Womp. Like, girl. So then Alexa says, well, Shannon, you berated me for 25 minutes. Okay. Shannon says, but you lied to me. And he was like, what did she lie about? She said, the text message. So they talk about the text message. Alexis tries to weasel her way out of it. But Emily said, but your name was on the lawsuit as an interested party. She says, you're an attorney. You know what that means. I was married to him. You know what that means. I was like, girl, you are really getting defensive. You're getting defensive. So after that, Alexis repeated a conversation she had with Jim, right? And so Shannon said, I didn't defame him. I won. And he was like, Andrew whispered to her, like, Shannon, stop, don't say that. Like, don't repeat that. He was like, you got sued for it. She said, and I won. So then Tamara even said she didn't defame Jim. And so, baby, this is the part that I was here for. Shannon read the hell out of Alexis. She told her, I've been on this show for 10 years. I took your job. And she said, and I'm back now. She said, yeah, as a friend. As a friend. At one point, she's because Alexa like I can leave. I'm gonna leave if they keep talking because she was mad that both Alex not she was mad that both Emily and Shannon were kind of tag teaming her, right? She was like, I'll just leave, and she was like, and Shannon was like, well, you're a friend, so you can go. He was like, no, she can't. I was like, yes, she can, Andy. She can absolutely get up in this ugly ass dress she got on and get the hell out. Alexis, there were people who actually wanted you back on this show, and you came back on this show and squandered it. Like you made yourself look so desperate and so pathetic for a damn man. So weird to me. But yeah, Shannon said, I took your job 10 years ago and I'm still here. You're a friend of. Oh, and she said, this is your career. And Alexa's like, I've been on TV for 15 years now. Oh, she said, oh, you're a television star. I said, come on, Shannon. Whoever helped you with actually I felt like that was just Shannon being pissed off and tired of that woman because Shannon gave it to her and I was here for it. Now part 3 of the reunion looked like it's about to go down between Emily and Alexis, and I'm here for it. So that was part 2 of the reunion. Really good, really good, really good, really good. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. You guys subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, you guys, do me a favor, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys later. So I won't be live again until Monday for Potomac, and then we'll go live on Wednesday. So you guys, I'm still thinking when it comes to the Real Housewives of New York City, I'm still teetering on if I'm actually going to officially drop that show or if I'm going to keep it on. I don't know just yet what I want to do with I don't know 100% yet what I want to do with New York, but I know for a fact we are going live on Wednesday for season 14 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You guys don't understand how excited I am for my Beverly Hills girls to be back. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. And I am really, 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 really ready to discuss this drama with Teddy and her husband because it is a doozy. And I am so here for it. It's juicy. It's messy. Do I want Teddy back on the show? Absolutely not. Do I? Let me say this real quick and then we'll get out of here. Can anybody tell me why does the fandom hate Teddy so much? I know Teddy is annoying, but I don't know why people hate Teddy so much. I don't hate Teddy. I don't. I just think Teddy is rather annoying. And I found Teddy more so annoying the last few seasons that she hasn't been on the show because she has so much to say. That's my problem with Teddy. You got so much stuff to say and you ain't even on the show. It gives that you go on this podcast with Tamra, you know what it is? It gives, you know what it gives me when you on this podcast with Tamra and talk about Beverly Hills? It gives Kyle's mouthpiece. It gives Kyle's mouthpiece with you, Teddy. I just thought about that. That's I can say that's why Teddy annoys me. Teddy annoys me off of Housewives. I don't have a problem with Teddy on Housewives. She annoys me off of Housewives. That is it with Teddy. Penelope says, I don't know why, but Teddy never gave Housewives. She kind of didn't. I'll agree with you that Teddy didn't really give Housewives. I'll agree with you on that. But yeah, you guys, that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a great weekend. If you guys don't watch any other content that I'll be putting out this weekend, if you guys don't watch it, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you guys later. Bye, guys.